Hey everyone, welcome. On this channel, we're going to get into an advanced look at the story Disastrous Necromancer. Come with me as we unravel the journey of Lin Moyu, from his beginnings to him becoming a force to be reckoned with in a mysterious new world. If this story sounds like something you'll enjoy, please like, share, and comment. Your support helps us keep providing these in-depth looks into the world of Disastrous Necromancer. Now let's continue.
The battleship door opened, and Lin Moyu stepped outside. Yu Qingro also flew out, standing side by side with Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu saw thin lines flying through the void. These lines seemed both real and unreal, faintly visible. They were karma lines. Karma lines generally do not appear. Lin Moyu had only seen them a few times. Only when karma is particularly strong or triggered by a karma treasure do karma lines become visible. So it's a karma-type treasure. Lin Moyu smiled slightly and said to Yu Qingro, "You should step back. Leave this to me." Yu Qingro clearly didn't want to retreat. "I'll help you." Lin Moyu shook his head. "This is a karma attack, targeting only me. You can't help." Seeing Yu Qingru's worried expression, Lin Moyu laughed heartily. "Don't worry, this is far from enough to kill me. Forming karma with me, your clan leader will regret it. Step back. This karma has nothing to do with you. Don't get involved." Lin Moyu spoke decisively, and Yu Qingro had no choice but to step back. "Be very careful," Yu Qingro urged, stepping aside and watching Lin Moyu with some tension. Several karma lines in the void wrapped around Lin Moyu. It was his first time facing a karma-type treasure, and he was curious. He knew he didn't need to dodge. Karma treasure attacks ignore spatial distance. He couldn't avoid it. Even if he hid in a Saint Sovereign's rule world, he would still be attacked. Facing a karma attack, there was only one way: to withstand it. But there were specific methods to withstand it. Exploding luck technique. Lin Moyu detonated his luck, transforming it into a dragon, accompanied by dragon roars. After these days of rest, his luck had returned to its peak, fully replenished. "Using my luck to counter the karma attack, I want to see what's happening on your side." Lin Moyu murmured. He understood karma, knowing it was bidirectional. There is cause and effect. The Starry Sky Fishman's attack was the cause. His being attacked was the effect. Similarly, his counterattack was the cause, and the Starry Sky Fishman's side would be the effect. Karma is like worldly affairs, with no absolutes. This concept is too profound. Only those who understand it can grasp it. To others, it sounds like gibberish. His soul moved, first contacting the karma lines. Lin Moyu's body trembled. The karma lines contained immense power, instantly shattering his soul force. The karma lines fell on Lin Moyu, causing his body to tremble, and purple gold light burst forth, resisting the karma lines. The karma lines also fell on his soul world, which had taken the form of a rule world, constantly rumbling. The world tree extended countless branches, colliding with the karma lines. The branches of the world tree broke, but more branches grew to strike the karma lines. The world tree's vitality was immense, continuously producing new branches to join the battle. However, the karma lines remained strong, still crushing the soul world, trying to shatter it. From the karma lines, Lin Moyu felt powerful luck and terrifying rule power. So this is a karma attack, guided by karma, driven by luck, with dual rules working together. The technique of luck requires rule power to drive it, and this karma treasure is the same. Lin Moyu's mind was clear, instantly understanding his situation. The Starry Sky Fishmen gathered their race's luck to attack him. Its effect was similar to the exploding luck technique. His individual luck couldn't compare to the luck of an entire race. Luck is the sublimation and aggregation of fortune, stronger in both quality and quantity than personal luck. Even if he broke through the limit, transforming his luck into a dragon, it would only be slightly better, still unable to resist. Lin Moyu also understood why the treasure would lose its effect against peak divine sovereigns. In fact, it didn't need to be a peak divine sovereign. The treasure's effect would be greatly reduced against high-level divine sovereigns. High-level divine sovereigns generate rule power, which is the basis for using luck. The karma in the void connects high-level divine sovereigns with the human race's luck. To kill a high-level divine sovereign, one would need to counter the human race's luck. The higher the realm, the deeper the connection, and the more luck one receives from the human race, rendering the karma treasure ineffective. In that case, Lin Moyu knew how to respond, and it was simpler than he had imagined. A peculiar aura rose from him, and his realm began to rise rapidly. Origin technique, gathering power. Lin Moyu's realm reached the 6th stage of divine sovereign in the blink of an eye, then broke through the barrier like a bubble. In an instant, Lin Moyu transformed from a second-stage Divine Sovereign to a high-level Divine Sovereign. A trace of rule power was born, and a mysterious force descended upon him. Human race's luck. Lin Moyu's voice was low, tinged with excitement. He had never felt the human race's luck before, but now, after understanding the virtual and real, he could sense it. Although he couldn't use the luck yet, as long as he had the human race's luck, it would naturally protect him, countering the luck attack. With the human race's luck descending, Lin Moyu's pressure was greatly reduced. The karma attack's effect weakened significantly, and Lin Moyu knew he was safe. But this was just the beginning. His realm continued to rise, growing stronger. 8th stage Divine Sovereign, receiving even more human race's luck. 9th stage Divine Sovereign. A vast amount of human race's luck poured down, actively blocking the karma lines for Lin Moyu. The karma attack failed, and Lin Moyu sneered, "It's rude not to reciprocate." His prepared soul force surged out, wrapped in human race's luck, and fell on the karma lines. In an instant, Lin Moyu sensed the situation on the other end of the karma lines. The Starry Sky Fishmen's clan leader, Yu Chimei, was holding a coral-like treasure, casting a spell with all his might. But he didn't seem to be having much success. How could he succeed? Lin Moyu had completely blocked the karma attack. It was clear that Yu Chimei was merely manipulating the treasure, knowing nothing about the law of karma or the concept of luck. He was truly ignorant of the principles. Exploding luck technique. Following the karma lines, Lin Moyu launched an attack. His attack had nothing to do with the race, it was a luck attack, one-on-one. Yu Chimei's personal luck was greatly weakened. He felt uncomfortable but couldn't pinpoint why. As the clan leader, Yu Chimei's personal luck was excellent, reaching 82, a red color. Under Lin Moyu's full weakening, Yu Chimei's luck quickly halved. His luck turned from red to green, dropping from 82 to 41. Lin Moyu knew this was the limit. He couldn't weaken it further. After all, Yu Chimei was a living being, not a stone tablet, fundamentally different. Explode. With a light shout in his heart, Lin Moyu detonated both their luck. Using luck to attack, Lin Moyu's luck was in a dragon state, breaking the limit. Yu Chimei's luck was only 41, a significant difference. While casting the spell, Yu Chimei suddenly trembled, spitting out a mouthful of blood, which exploded, collapsing his room. He had no idea how he was injured or why. The 2 grand elders beside him were also shocked, not understanding what had happened. At this moment, Yu Chimei heard a voice, "Clan leader Yu, Lin has noted this matter. Please accept this small token of my appreciation. For Qingru's sake, let's end it here. If it happens again, Lin Moyu will repay it doubly." Yu Chimei's eyes couldn't help but show fear. He actually heard Lin Moyu's warning. Separated by countless light years, he didn't know how Lin Moyu managed to do it. Yu Chimei knew his attack had failed, and not just failed, but failed miserably. Lin Moyu's terror far exceeded his imagination. He told the 2 grand elders about this, and they also showed shock. No wonder the human race values Lin Moyu so much. This child's terror is unimaginable. He's probably not just the second Shao Zhanshan. This child is very likely to surpass Shao Zhanshan and create a new era for the human race. Could it be that the human race will once again dominate the world? If that's the case, it's not impossible. The 3 of them looked at each other, their expressions extremely complex. This time, Lin Moyu completely crushed Yu Chimei's desire to kill him and also broke the rules of the Starry Sky Fishmen. Lin Moyu's aura gradually calmed, and his realm returned to its true level. Yu Qingro, who had been watching nervously, finally felt relieved. Lin Moyu smiled, "All right, it's over." Yu Qingro nodded, "That treasure is not easy to activate. I think the clan leader and the others won't act again in a short time." Lin Moyu said, "You're right. Yu Chimei wouldn't dare to act again in a short time, and he probably wouldn't dare to act in the future either." Lin Moyu knew how strong his words were. Although it was just a warning, it was full of threats. Using the luck explosion technique, through the karma line, he directly injured Yu Chimei across an infinite distance. Even a saint sovereign would probably be scared half to death by such a method. In the past, the ancient Buddha used karma to strike him with the ancient Buddha's palm. The ancient Buddha's palm left traces, and although it was powerful, it wasn't strange. The luck explosion technique left no traces, making it seem somewhat eerie. Lin Moyu was very curious about Yu Chimei's reaction now. His expression should be quite interesting. Lin Moyu and Yu Qingro resumed their journey. The karma attack and luck attack were just interludes, not affecting their interest at all. In the following period, Lin Moyu took Yu Qingro to see all the beautiful sceneries in the Divine City Star region. Are you sure you don't want me to accompany you back? Lin Moyu asked. Yu Qingro shook her head. I can handle my own affairs. Lin Moyu didn't stop her. Then be careful. If there's any problem, contact me directly, and I'll come to solve it. Yu Qingro smiled sweetly. Don't worry, my status is special. Nothing will happen. As the princess of the Starry Sky Fishmen, Yu Qingro had already been designated as the next clan leader. As long as she reached the other shore realm, she could become the clan leader. Even if she made some mistakes, they wouldn't do anything to her. Moreover, Lin Moyu felt that Yu Chimei and the others were even less likely to punish Yu Qingro now. With reluctance, Yu Qingro left. Although nothing was said, the reluctance was clear to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu knew they would meet again. The karma line was still there, and this farewell was not the final one. Lin Moyu also returned to the Divine City, preparing to cultivate again. Time and again, events told him that in this world, strength is paramount if one wants to live freely. If he were already a Saint Sovereign, Yu Chimei wouldn't dare to act against him. On his way back, Lin Moyu sent a message to Saint Sovereign Hao, inquiring about Little Mist's situation. Every once in a while, Lin Moyu would ask. Saint Sovereign Hao had taken Little Mist away from the Divine City Star region and was wandering around the human race's 4 star regions. The old and the young got along very well, and Little Mist seemed to be having so much fun that she didn't want to come back. This time was no different. Saint Sovereign Hao had taken Little Mist to the Azure Dragon Star region, and it was unclear when they would return. Lin Moyu was happy to see this. Little Mist had transformed from an artifact spirit into a real person and naturally needed to experience the human world. She had been in the Cloud Mist sect for countless years. Although the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign treated her well, she was still confined to one place. Now she finally had the chance to see the world. Illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign, I have fulfilled my promise to you. Lin Moyu thought to himself. Suddenly, he felt something stirring in his soul. His mind sank into his soul, and he saw the supreme inheritance pearl of the Cloud Mist sect glowing brightly. In the light, countless runes were projected. These runes danced in the light, many of which Lin Moyu had never seen before. But with his understanding of runes, he could roughly judge their functions. Space runes. Time runes. And these runes, I don't recognize any of them. Lin Moyu thought he had mastered almost all runes, but he didn't expect there were so many he had never seen. The runes continued to dance and then merged, forming one mysterious ancient rune after another. These ancient runes then combined, turning into mountains, seas, and giant starry sky beasts, and entire galaxies. Finally, a giant rune figure, larger than a galaxy, appeared in the light. It held stars in its hands, shattered star rivers with its fists, incredibly powerful. Lin Moyu was greatly shocked, an ancient giant. The giant in the light was exactly like the ancient giant he had seen before. The secret realm of the Divine City Star region was formed from fragments of the ancient giant's runes. The severed finger of the ancient giant was still outside the Divine City Star region. Clearly, this was the supreme inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect. Why did an ancient giant appear? Could it be that the ancient giant was also created by the Cloud Mist sect? Lin Moyu instinctively felt it was unlikely. His guess had no basis, but what he saw was hard to explain. The pearl burst into bright light again, dispelling all the projections. The strong light illuminated most of the soul world, and then a large amount of information rushed into his soul. Lin Moyu was caught off guard, and his soul felt intense pain, almost overwhelmed by the information flow. He barely managed to endure it, feeling a lingering fear. This was the second time. The first time was like this, and now it happened again. This supreme inheritance truly disregarded the recipient's life. Lin Moyu suspected that in the eyes of those heavenly sovereigns, if one couldn't even handle the information, they didn't deserve the inheritance. Thinking about it, this seemed likely. Those heavenly sovereigns were incredibly powerful and might have eccentric personalities. Maybe it's an eccentric old guy who loves seeing others suffer. Lin Moyu speculated, not caring if it was true or false. After all, the supreme inheritance was so inhumane. As he thought, Lin Moyu organized the inherited information. He multitasked, organizing while reviewing. After a while, Lin Moyu couldn't help but be surprised. So that's how it is. The previous inheritance mainly focused on the technique of luck. After learning it, Lin Moyu once thought that the Cloud Mist sect had elevated luck to fortune and then used fortune to touch the law of karma, progressing step by step. At that time, he admired the ancestors of the Cloud Mist sect for using this method to touch the elusive law of karma. But now, he realized he had underestimated the Cloud Mist sect. The Cloud Mist sect's inheritance had surpassed the technique of luck and truly touched the law of karma. Using the law of karma, the Cloud Mist sect had made many arrangements in the past. The amount of information in the inheritance was enormous, and Lin Moyu couldn't help but laugh bitterly. Illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign, you are ruthless, even in this matter you kept a hand. For the Cloud Mist sect, inheritance is an extremely important and sacred matter. The Illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign was the master of the Cloud Mist sect at that time, and the matter of inheritance was solely managed by him. Especially after the Great War, the inheritance land was lost outside, making it even more necessary for future generations to inherit it. No one could have imagined that the Illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign would have selfish motives in this matter. Previously, Lin Moyu obtained the technique of luck from the Supreme Inheritance, which was only a part of the inheritance. Most of this part of the inheritance was theoretical, with almost no practical techniques. At that time, Lin Moyu did not suspect anything because the technique of luck was too mysterious, and he couldn't fully understand it. His realm was not high enough to see the flaws, which was unavoidable. Unexpectedly, there was another part of the Supreme Inheritance, which was not just theoretical but included practical techniques. It could be said that this was the true core of the inheritance. The only way to activate this part of the inheritance was to create a physical body for Little Mist. Only when Little Mist successfully had a physical body and became a living being would this part of the inheritance be unsealed. As for how the inheritance determined this, Lin Moyu thought it wouldn't be difficult. With the Illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign's ability, it could be achieved with some judgment at the fruit level. Now that Little Mist had a physical body and had successfully sustained it for a period of time, the restriction set by the Illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign was lifted, and Lin Moyu naturally obtained this part of the inheritance. Fortunately, he had promised the Illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign at that time and had diligently completed the task afterward. If he had just promised without doing it, he wouldn't have obtained this part of the inheritance. This showed that the Illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign truly cared for Little Mist, treating her almost like his own daughter. Lin Moyu even suspected that the Illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign might not have had a wife or children in his life, so he treated Little Mist as his daughter. The flow of inheritance information finally stopped, and Lin Moyu slowly breathed a sigh of relief. It's finally over. His soul throbbed with pain, nearing its limit. Lin Moyu let his soul relax and recover. The inheritance placed high demands on the soul, and even with his Saint Sovereign level soul, he almost couldn't withstand it. Perhaps, in the eyes of the Illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign back then, the Saint Sovereign level was just the passing standard. Why is it still glowing? Unintentionally, he saw that the Supreme Inheritance Pearl was still glowing, with ancient runes appearing on it again. A thought popped into Lin Moyu's mind, could it be that it's not over yet? Whoosh! A strong light once again illuminated the soul world, and another wave of information rushed in, completely disregarding whether Lin Moyu could handle it. Damn, you! Lin Moyu used a phrase from his previous life, angrily cursing to express his feelings. His soul was on the verge of exploding, and this wave of information was no less than the previous one. Lin Moyu struggled to control his soul, preventing it from exploding. Although his soul could regenerate, taking less than half a second, he didn't know if he would miss any important information in that half second. So Lin Moyu tried his best to maintain his soul, enduring the intense pain. The world tree dropped its branches, emitting countless golden light spots to help stabilize his soul. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal also spewed dragon breath to protect his soul. The incoming information was too much, and his soul reached its limit, swelling visibly. Damn, I can't hold on. Lin Moyu realized that his soul had truly reached its limit and would soon explode. The inheritance information was too vast for him to handle. I must do something. Lin Moyu raised the scourge staff, the only thing he could think of that might help. If even the scourge staff was useless, he would just let his soul explode. He wouldn't die, but he might lose some of the inheritance. Lin Moyu communicated with the scourge staff with his soul, but it didn't respond. Enduring the pain, he used his swollen little hand to tap the scourge staff. If you don't move, I'll lose the inheritance. Please move, I know you have other uses besides smashing things. Under Lin Moyu's tapping, the scourge staff finally reacted. It seemed reluctant, vibrating slightly, and the soul gem on it shot a yellow light onto his soul. The swollen soul instantly returned to normal. The pain subsided, and Lin Moyu felt refreshed. He didn't understand how the soul gem did it, but it worked. He felt as if his soul's capacity had doubled, able to hold an ocean instead of just a river. Lin Moyu knew this was temporary. His soul's essence hadn't changed. When the soul gem's effect wore off, the ocean would definitely cause a tsunami, overwhelming his soul. He quickly accepted and organized the information. His soul operated at full speed, not daring to delay or get distracted. If not for the fear of missing the inheritance, Lin Moyu would have used the law of time to slow down time for himself. His soul was almost smoking, but his face showed excitement. Section 2286 23,692,287. Lin Moyu was genuinely excited, unable to contain it despite his state of mind. This inheritance was not from the Cloud Mist sect but from another heavenly sovereign. This heavenly sovereign was the top rune master of that era, the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign. No one could have imagined that the supreme inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect would also include the inheritance of the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign. Moreover, this inheritance would only be activated after the Cloud Mist sect's inheritance was fully completed. If he hadn't created a physical body for Little Mist, the loss would have been enormous. Little Mist became the key to both inheritances, of immense significance. Lin Moyu was very fortunate to have made the right choice. The inheritance of the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign flowed continuously. The amount of information from a heavenly sovereign's inheritance was terrifying. Lin Moyu had no time for other thoughts, focusing solely on organizing the information. The soul gems effect gradually faded, and Lin Moyu felt the pain again, but it was much better than before. At this moment, Lin Moyu couldn't think. He instinctively organized the information, racing against time. He didn't know how long it took, but the inheritance finally ended, and his soul remained intact. He smiled. Fortunately, I made it through. Not bad, little guy, you have resilience and are qualified to receive my inheritance. A voice suddenly sounded, and Lin Moyu saw a figure appear above the pearl. The figure enlarged in his vision, becoming a dignified middle-aged man with a temperament similar to the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign. Lin Moyu immediately realized the identity of this big shot and respectfully saluted. Junior greets the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign smiled, dignified yet kind. To reach the divine sovereign realm at your age, with a saint sovereign level soul and a world-forming soul, you are a top genius even in my era. Not to mention, the illusory Mist old fellow was far inferior to you in his youth. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign praised Lin Moyu while belittling the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign. Lin Moyu couldn't help but think, it seems the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign seemed to see through Lin Moyu's thoughts and said slowly, little guy, you must be wondering why my inheritance is placed in the Cloud Mist sect. Lin Moyu honestly admitted it. There was no point in lying in front of a heavenly sovereign. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign slowly sat down, placing the supreme inheritance pearl of the Cloud Mist sect beneath him. It feels great to sit on the Cloud Mist sect's treasure, just like sitting on that old rascal illusory Mist. Lin Moyu's mouth twitched. It seemed these two heavenly sovereigns really had a story. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign said, it's actually very simple. I just can't stand that old rascal illusory Mist. What kind of reason is that? Not liking the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign, yet placing the inheritance together? Lin Moyu didn't understand. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign explained, because I can't stand him, I wanted to add some difficulty for his inheritors. If they can't even handle my inheritance, then they should just die. They don't deserve the illusory Mist's inheritance either. Lin Moyu felt a chill. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign actually had such thoughts. After accepting the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign's inheritance, then accepting the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign's inheritance consecutively, an ordinary Saint Sovereign wouldn't be able to withstand it. This wasn't just causing trouble, it was practically murder. But Lin Moyu couldn't say that. He twitched his mouth and said, isn't this too dangerous? The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign snorted, what's dangerous? Didn't you succeed? Lin Moyu was speechless. Could others compare to him? Do others have a world tree? A 9-colored dragon soul crystal? A scourge staff? Lin Moyu dared to say that even if Saint Sovereign Hao came, he would die. But he didn't dare say a word. Facing a heavenly sovereign, even just a remnant soul, killing him wouldn't take much effort. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign continued, that old rascal illusory Mist is not decent. He ran away, leaving only the inheritance, not caring about the great world's life or death. He didn't even take Little Mist, claiming to have seen karma and fate, saying Little Mist has her own benefactor. Cowardly but finding excuses. I can't stand such a hypocrite. So after that old rascal illusory Mist ran away, I entered the Cloud Mist sect and left my inheritance there too. I wanted to see if the so-called benefactor he mentioned would appear. If you can't even handle my inheritance, then you're not a benefactor. Lin Moyu was speechless. If I can't handle it, I'll die. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign snorted, that just means you're not a benefactor, and that old rascal illusory Mist was wrong. Unfortunately, you succeeded. What do you mean, unfortunately? Lin Moyu felt like a herd of starry sky beasts was running through his mind. Is this really a heavenly sovereign? Why does he act like a child? It's a bit scary. Lin Moyu even suspected that the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign might kill him to prove the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign wrong. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign glanced at Lin Moyu. Don't worry, I won't kill you. I can't stand that coward illusory mist, not you. Lin Moyu pondered the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign's words and boldly asked, Senior, what did the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign do to make you so angry? He could tell that the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign really disliked the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign but didn't say it outright. Lin Moyu's question seemed to give him a chance to vent. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign immediately continued, All right, since you want to hear it, I'll tell you. It was like a dam of resentment that had been held back for countless years, pouring out like a waterfall. Lin Moyu listened carefully, not saying a word. He never imagined that the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign's resentment was so deep. The two Heavenly Sovereigns weren't just at odds, they were almost enemies. If they weren't both human, they might have fought long ago. It turned out their conflict was over a woman when they were young. Both fell in love with the same woman, but she didn't choose either of them. The reason was that both treated her too well, and she couldn't choose. In the end, she never married and lived alone until her life ended. The illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign preserved her soul, turning it into an artifact spirit, which was Little Mist. The illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign treated Little Mist very well and never married. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign was a step too late, and seeing Little Mist with the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign always made him uncomfortable. Especially after the ancient war, the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign left this world but left Little Mist behind. He said Little Mist would meet her benefactor and warned the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign not to interfere. Although the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign couldn't stand the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign, he knew the illusory Mist wouldn't joke about Little Mist. So he also left an inheritance, wanting to see who the so-called benefactor was. Hearing this, Lin Moyu couldn't help but laugh. Even heavenly sovereigns can be troubled by love. But thinking about it, it seemed normal. Heavenly sovereigns represent status and power, but it doesn't mean they have no emotions. If he ever became a heavenly sovereign, he might be the same. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign said, I've been watching what you've done. You've done well, better than that coward. I'm very satisfied. Lin Moyu asked, what was the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign planning to do back then? The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign casually replied, what else could he do? Just go to the Boundary Sea to find. He suddenly stopped, not continuing, you don't need to know this now. When you become a heavenly sovereign, it won't be too late to know. Lin Moyu didn't press further. If the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign didn't want to say, asking wouldn't help. But he remembered the term, Boundary Sea. He guessed it was a place only heavenly sovereigns could know and reach. Lin Moyu changed the topic, is the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign still alive? The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign snorted, maybe, maybe not. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign's remnant soul, like the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign's, was completely disconnected from the main body. Whether the main body was alive or dead didn't affect the remnant soul. Although the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign didn't say, he gave Lin Moyu a possibility. The illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign might still be alive. But heavenly sovereigns have a lifespan of only 500,000 years, and the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign said longevity is difficult. 2 million years have passed since ancient times. How did the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign survive? Section 2287 23,692,288. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign said, I know you have many questions, but this is all I can say. My remnant soul doesn't have much time left, so I won't waste it here. Remember, the stronger you are, the more you can know. If you're not strong, knowing more will only make you die faster. Since that coward said you're Little Mist's benefactor, then be a good benefactor and don't die. This world doesn't have much time left. See if you can help it defy fate. Lin Moyu asked, where are you going, senior? The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign chuckled, to do what needs to be done. We owe this world, so I'll do what I can to make up for it. At this moment, the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign finally looked like a heavenly sovereign. He put away his smile, his expression becoming solemn and majestic, exuding a divine aura. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign left, leaving behind a similar message. Although Lin Moyu didn't fully understand, he could grasp the essence. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign kept calling the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign a coward, but in the end, he also left this world. They abandoned the great world. But why? Lin Moyu couldn't believe that those heavenly sovereigns would truly abandon the great world. It didn't align with what he had seen and heard before. The former supremes, one by one, died for the great world. The ancient strong ones were born from the great world, it was their home. How could they easily abandon it? Could there be some reason they had to do this? Or is there some inside story I don't know? Lin Moyu couldn't make a definitive conclusion. His current realm was not high enough, and he wasn't qualified to know many things. But even if he knew, what could he do? He had no power to change anything, only adding to his worries. What he needed to do now was to cultivate diligently, reach the peak of the Saint Sovereign realm, and rebuild the divine path. To know the truth, he first needed to gain the qualifications. Letting the battleship float in the starry sky, Lin Moyu sat motionless inside. He organized the information from the inheritance. There was too much and it was too complex, requiring a lot of time to sort through. The supreme inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect included several practical methods related to luck, but they also required the power of rules to use. The Cloud Mist sect's inheritance progressed from luck to fortune, and finally to the law of karma, corresponding to different realms. Before reaching the Other Shore realm, one could learn luck-based techniques to interfere with personal luck and even use luck to launch attacks. After reaching the Other Shore realm, one could interfere with fortune, affecting entire sects or races, even to the point of destroying them. Ultimately, truly touching the law of karma was beyond Lin Moyu's reach, it was still too far away. After organizing the Cloud Mist sect's inheritance, Lin Moyu breathed a sigh of relief, finally complete. Following this path, I can at least reach the supreme realm. Rebuilding the divine path is the biggest obstacle. Unfortunately, the Cloud Mist sect's inheritance doesn't include a method to rebuild the divine path. There were gains, but also some disappointment. Lin Moyu set it aside and continued organizing the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign's inheritance. Compared to the Cloud Mist sect's inheritance, the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign's inheritance was much more practical. It included all the knowledge the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign had learned in his life about runes. Many of these runes and knowledge were treasures in today's context. Lin Moyu deeply realized how brilliant the path of runes was in ancient times. The strong ones of that time had explored runes far beyond the current understanding of cultivators. Back then, the Other Shore realm was just the starting point for the path of runes. As he organized, Lin Moyu muttered to himself, runes also have distinctions between the virtual and the real. If you only master real runes, the limit is the supreme realm. To go further, you must master virtual runes. In other words, to become a heavenly sovereign, one must understand the duality of the virtual and the real. I was right. The path of runes doesn't involve just merging runes or rune arrays. To reach the end, one must fully master runes. The current rune masters are all going in the wrong direction. Knowledge inheritance has been interrupted by disasters time and again. Current cultivators have a skewed understanding of runes, and Lin Moyu felt the need to correct this understanding. The method was simple. He just needed to pass the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign's inheritance to the Rune Saint Sovereign, who would naturally know what to do. As he continued organizing the inheritance, he obtained more and more information. His eyes shone with a bright light as he muttered to himself, so that ancient giant was called the Ancient Rune Warrior. The Ancient Rune Warrior was created by the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign, his greatest achievement in the path of runes. The Ancient Rune Warrior combined virtual and real runes, creating a miraculous transformation. No wonder, even if the ancient rune was broken, it could still evolve into a secret realm and form its own world. The reason lies here. The current top rune master, the Rune Saint Sovereign, couldn't evolve a world from an ancient rune. Let alone evolving a world from just a fragment of an ancient rune. The Rune Saint Sovereign had been researching this but had never succeeded. Lin Moyu didn't understand why at the time, but now he finally understood. The reason lay in the virtual and real runes. Only by understanding the duality of the virtual and the real and merging them could one truly turn decay into magic. However, one thing is correct. In ancient times, ancient runes were also divided into 3 levels and 9 grades. Runes have levels, with basic and advanced distinctions for ordinary runes. Ancient runes are divided into 3 levels and 9 grades. Levels 1 to 3 are low grade, levels 4 to 6 are mid grade, and levels 7 to 9 are high grade. Lin Moyu's eyes showed shock, and his tone became unnatural. The Ancient Rune Warrior is only a 7th grade ancient rune. He repeatedly confirmed and finally determined he wasn't mistaken. In the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign's inheritance, the Ancient Rune Warrior he created with all his life's knowledge was only a 7th grade ancient rune. A moment ago, Lin Moyu thought the Ancient Rune Warrior should belong to the 9th grade, the ultimate expression of the path of runes. But the next moment, he was slapped in the face. The Ancient Rune Warrior was only a 7th grade ancient rune. With disbelief, Lin Moyu continued to examine the inheritance. He finally understood why the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign classified the ancient rune warrior as the 7th grade. In his concept, an 8th grade ancient rune could evolve into a law star river, becoming an independent law or even a rule. Only such runes could be called 8th grade. As for 9th grade ancient runes, they were the true ultimate in the path of runes. In the eyes of the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign, only the Great World runes could be called 9th grade ancient runes. They could independently evolve worlds, countless laws, and true living beings. One rune could create a world. This is the essential difference in vision and pattern. Lin Moyu felt as if he had seen a whole new world, realizing his vision was too narrow. The Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign's goal was to surpass the Heavenly Sovereign, master the Great World runes, and become the master of the world. Unfortunately, he ultimately failed. Finally, after reading all of the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign's inheritance, Lin Moyu gained a lot. Unlike the Cloud Mist sect's inheritance, which was ethereal and hard to understand, the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign's inheritance was practical. Only when it involved the duality of virtual and real runes did it become profound and difficult to understand. At least in his eyes, these runes were not difficult. Lin Moyu took out a jade tablet, intending to copy the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign's inheritance. But after copying less than 1/10, the jade tablet shattered with a light sound. Lin Moyu realized that the Saint Sovereign's inheritance couldn't be contained in an ordinary jade tablet. After several more attempts, he found that ordinary jade tablets could only hold a small portion of the content. These contents didn't involve ancient runes, only basic and advanced runes, and couldn't even include some of the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign's concepts. It seemed that the inheritance also contained the supreme will of the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign. The battleship, which had been floating in the starry sky for a long time, re-entered deep space, heading towards the Divine City.